At last class, we talk about the equation, function
Mhm.
overloading, pass as function bag. Okay. All the things will be equation, and then functions topics are completed, right? We
Yeah.
start a new one topic as today's. So, what's the topic? Is my next is oops, right? C plus plus oops. So next topic is mine is C plus plus oops. Okay. What's the
Mm.
oops is?
Object-oriented programming.
Stand for object-oriented program. Okay. Why we talk call as object-oriented programming? Okay. Rather than your earlier classes, we see about the structural-based programming and then functional-based programming, right? And inside
Mm.
the function, we call multiple times, we define something and then call multiple times here. Same thing we do by the OOPS concept, but in this case, we used to all the programming things are done as inside the uh, classes and object. We just create our classes and then we define as its object and then make as a as object by using same things we using multiple times, right?
Mm.
Reusable build-up course of the whole course. This is called OOPS. Okay.
Mm.
If you talk about to write something, if you do as a earlier section, we do as a procedural programming where we step follows. Okay. So just call as a programming is about writing procedure or functions
Mm.
that performs operations on the data site. But while ops is about creating object that contains data and function, both the data and function. In the function, we contain only function these, not operations. But in the object, we contain datas, both datas and function. Right? We contain variables, we contain functionalities, all the things and then operations we want to do here. All the things will be is contained inside the object. Object. What's
Mm.
the
Mm.
object is this? Is your ops concept object, right? How is just the
Mm.
object? Inside this we use here. If I show about the inside we know about the two things about it. One is classes and other one is objects. Okay, what's the objects and classes? This is a basic main concept of the oops. Okay,
Mm.
main concept. The oops is classes and object. What is classes and object? If you define the classes, okay.
I know it's like private or something.
No, private is your access specifier, but classes is stat and classes. I just call you the classes is a template of the template for the object. Also, and also
Mm.
say that blueprints of the object. Okay.
Mm.
And object is an instance of the class. Okay. Here, if I do things right there, just explain by using the image. One image I just take here. Suppose yes, I just show you one thing. I just make here. Suppose this here. I do one thing and then this is my suppose this is my class, right? One class I do here to write there. Name class is my Suppose this is my car class, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, vehicle class, whatever you can want to show here. Inside the class, we define as this model, price. Many of things are just defined as model, price, okay,
Hmm.
and color. Which color is has stats, okay,
Hmm.
and which year you build, okay.
Hmm.
All the things are here to show here, and in these things are defined inside this class. And then after that I want to do was to one class have the multiple types of class are there. Okay, you have a Toyota class, we have a Tesla class, we have a Tata class. Many of the cars companies are there, but this is the same thing will be do. Models are there, price are there, color are there, build year are there. This is my
Hmm.
class. All things are defined inside this class. After that, if you want, this is my blueprint. Suppose that this is my measuring factory where we manufacture different types of glass. But in the
Hmm.
object, we have different type of things right there. So what I do, for the one class, we have to define here the multiple objects. One, two, three. How many objects you want to do here? Okay, by using this one. By using this one to this. Okay, this is your object class, right? So suppose that this is your object one, object two, where you have the different type of model. Okay, object one. Yeah, you can see here the Toyota object.
Hmm.
We just create a Toyota company car.
Hmm.
Here, same factory we create a Tata company car. Okay,
Hmm.
same factory we create here the Ford company car,
Hmm.
right? And
Hmm.
then inside we say have to same thing we will do is a model, but different is model, different is price, different is color, different in build year. All the things are different
Hmm.
inside it. But we have the blueprints. I just make here the blueprints, and then after it we create the things. And this is called an object. Okay, these whole things are called an object.
The whole
This
graph is
no, this whole
okay.
graph no, this is called an object.
Okay, okay.
Okay, this is
So
called an
what's the difference between class and struct?
what class construct.
Yeah.
Class construct means other things in the inside the class we define as we can talk about construct for keyword also. All the things I talk about here, but this is my class and object only. This is
Yeah,
called
yeah,
a
but
yeah. You
in
can
in in
this is
struct,
just
um, I
what's
do
it?
remember in structures or struct,
Uh-huh.
we we are also defining something similar to this, right? Like we
In
say
the
struct.
structure, we define only the group of variables. Okay, but
Mm,
in the class we define the group of variables and also define the functions inside it. Both the things are defined here.
mm.
Okay. In this structure, we define only the group of variables. In the function, we define only functionalities. But in the class, we define both the things by side. In the group of variables and then also the functionalities.
Mm,
Okay.
mm,
That's why this concept is useful. Right. So this
mm,
is a difference between that. Right.
mm.
Okay. This is just a way you can show here. I just create here the example here. This is my chart. Let's clear on it.
Yeah.
So, okay, next we just use as a examples here. How to define the class? For the defining the class, we just use as a class keyword. And name is any of the class. Suppose my right here is a my class. Okay, right here
Mm,
is a my class, and inside the my class we just use a public. Public is my format specifier, access specifier. We talk about this one also. Inside it, I just define int my num. Okay,
mm,
and a string. I something defined a string my string.
mm,
Okay, many of things we can define, and then also you can do as a function. Okay, you can also function define a function, and function name is I just use a abc, right? Same thing I define here, and then I just use terminate functions. Okay. Oh, sorry. Here don't use a function. Here I just use a void in anything we use here. Okay, just forget about
mm,
it. Okay, and then just as I there see out. This is just a function. This is just a I will not talk about here the function. We talk about this is just a method.
Mm.
also says this function. Okay. But we inside the class, we define the function we call as a method.
So basically, instruct, we cannot um,
Mhm.
um, include function inside, right? But in classes, we can include functions
Mhm.
inside.
Yeah, function and method, function and group of variables, all the things are used inside. Okay. So that's why this is different and this is your other usable, right? This is called public is called as access specifier. We talk about access specifier, how many access specifier use, and then how we use why we use access specifier. And this is called a this is called a variables attributes. Inside the function, we define as its name as attributes, not called as a variables. This is attributes we call as variables also. Okay. Yeah, if we talk about the variables. Okay. This is called an attributes, and inside it, this is called a methods. Not the function we do, say that is inside the class we define the methods, not the function. Okay. After that, here you can see use a semicolon for the end of the class. Okay. Use semicolon for end of the class. We're just ending the class right here. That's why we use here the semicolon. Simple way, I just create a class where we define some very variety views when we define the some functions, methods right here. Okay. This functions will be created. If I run this one and then check this as also output we got here. We got nothing right there because I don't use a class right now. For the using the class, we just need to be one thing is my object. How to create the object inside the int main. Everything you can want to call here that's used as a int main. Inside int main, I just create my object. How to create my object? For the creating my object, just use is my class. Okay, this is my class name, and then name is the object. My right here is the object, my object, right? Name is any variable type name. Okay, create an object of my class. Okay, so I just create here the object of my class, and I just want to assign the value of my num, my string was to here. My object is right there, and then dot we use, and then which value you want to show here is my num. And this I just write my num, and then right here the 10, whatever you value want to write here. And then again my object, and I want to write the string type values. Just my string I use here, and let's use. Okay, this is attribute text, right? I decided to use here. Okay. If I want to print these values, then how to print this value? Just write a C out. Okay. And just write the my object dot minor for the printing the minor values. Okay.
Mm.
And I just use same line and my object again dot my string. Then handle for the new line and just use it. Just so there I just run this file and check this out. So what's the output we got here? Strand is my, and this is attribute text. All the things are come here. In the object, we define there some values and define there some text inside it, and then after that we can use it. We all things are defined already inside it, and then by after that we in the main method we just use main function. We just use here this objects, right? And if I want to call this function, okay, this methods, how to call this function method, we always call this type of method by using the object way. So how to use it? It's a simple way. You can just write the my object dot abc. Simple way you to call the method. Okay, call the method of the class. Okay, and then if I run this one, click here, then here this will be called. And then you can use multiple times here. You can also call my object dot abc functions methods is multiple times as same as like as functions. Okay, so
Mm.
just here run it, and then also you can create the multiple class objects right here. Suppose I want to create some others object right there, my class, and I just name is the obj2. Okay, object2,
Mm.
whatever you can name here. This is just like as a variable. and just assign some value object to dot my num, and then here I just write 25, and then here object to dot my string. I write here this is object number 2. Okay, and this one
Mm.
I just use a C out again, and then just show the object 2 dot my num, and object 2 dot my string, and then I use here.
Mm.
And if you want to call the second one object also, you can use the object to and then call the methods also. Anything you want to create, call it, you can define as well as many of the objects right here. Okay. So
Mm.
here
Yeah.
25, this is object 2, this output will be shown. Okay. All the thing
Mm.
inside the class, you can define all the program. Okay. All the inside the program inside it. And after that, you can use it. Okay. Define multiple object of a class. Okay. Right? So you define this one also. That's clear?
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Then come to the next one. This one here. Okay. This is where you can create your class and then use your class. Okay. Our next topic
Okay.
is come here to the class methods. Okay. What's the class method is that? Okay. So
Mm.
that's you. Methods are just a function, are functions
Functions. Mm.
that belong, okay, that belong to the class. Okay.
Mm.
And that's why this is called a method. In inside the class, we don't call as a function, but this is way you can define. Okay, there are two ways to define methods. Okay, so we
Mm.
define two types, two way of the methods. First of all, inside the class, how to define the inside the class? Inside class definition.
Mm.
And second way is my outside class definition. We can also define the method by outside the class. How to do that? What the examples I show here. Okay. First of all, I create my class. Class is a no, name is my class. Curly bracket we use here. I just say the public, and then directly I use here the class void my method. Name is my method. Okay, this is my simple method, and then just right here inside class definition. Inside class definition right here. I use an handle also.
Mm.
This way, you can simple way you can define it that this type of class is already defined, and then for the calling this class, just use a int main. Okay. uh,
Yeah.
okay. Int main. I just use the int main here, and then I just write here my class.
My class dot my method.
Okay, and then I say this is obj, and then what's the name is you want to. I just name as a obj, and then for the calling the method, just simple obj my method, and then just I call it. Okay,
Mm.
simple one.
Mm.
And just send this file. This will be created. Okay.
Mm.
By using this way, you can create the class inside the create the method inside the class. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
If I want to create the class outside the method, create the method outside the class. How to do that? For this part, I just take example for this one also. I just first of all class, and the name is a class is my class. Okay. And then after that, I just use the public for the public string. And then here void, I just use a my method. Okay. Name is the class here. Inside it, we just define the class. Okay. Define, just declare the class, not the define here, just declare the class. Okay. Inside the method, we then define here. So where we define here, define just outside of the class. Okay. Define that method.
Mm.
outside of the class.
Okay.
So how to define it? So first write a void
Oh,
my,
oh, we had to write into main, right?
yeah, void not inside the increment. We just write a void before the increment, and then
Mm.
double colon we use here, and the name is my method. Which method you want to define is above, declare the above, and then after that you can use it. Okay, double colon we you use them after that, and then C out you use, and then here outside
Mm.
class definition. Okay.
Mm.
Mm, okay, C. Okay, spelling mistake. And then after the increment, we just key, we just
My
declare
class.
the object. Nothing will we do. Class is class and methods. All the things are there above the main function. Okay.
Mm.
By class, just write as a my class here.
Wow.
And just say the what's the name is by just write as a obj and then use a obj dot my method. Just it. Okay.
Mm.
I just call this function and then just check this out. This method will be worked or not. Then see that this will be worked. Okay. You can define
Mm.
as well. You can also just declare inside the methods in the class, and after that you can define the method outside the class also. Okay, but
Mm.
it's not
So,
inside the function because inside the function we can't define either anything.
so this is basically a way to define, I mean, like we can define
Mhm.
classes in two different ways. One inside, we can write the method inside, or we can also write outside.
Yeah, we define both the way. You can define inside the class and outside the class also methods.
Okay.
Okay, so this way
Mm.
you can create this one. Okay.
Mm.
Take one example again where we have to take some values right here. Suppose I just create my one example stats. Suppose I create the class name is car, okay, and then
Mm.
public. And for the public, we use int, not int here. I just use a void here. You can also use a int for the return type values. Okay, same things will be learned in the function. Same rules apply inside the class method also. Okay, so
Mm.
if you want to use return type value, then you can use the int. Yeah, other things, double anything. Int max speed I just right here. This is my val. Okay,
Mm.
and just I just not here to I just defined here the class methods, or I just define it as a method, and then after the part, how can we define is int. Yeah, here we
Mm.
use a void. That's why we use here the void. But if you define as an int, just you can use here the int. And C is capital, C is capital because this is a case sensitive. And after
Mm.
this name is speed, and then inside it we just use max speed. Okay. And this is parameters we define here. And then
Mm.
inside it we just return this value because the return values is I want to return as a max speed.
Okay.
Maximum speed is as right, and just use here max speed. Okay, and semicolon I use here.
What is the what does the plus max speed do?
One second, this plus is not working here. Okay, I just want to work here. Not plus is just used for the concatenation, but this is not concatenate right here. Okay, just forgot about this. C plus plus is now support this one concatenation part of the plus symbol. Okay, but the other ones is supported. Okay, that's why I just do it so. Okay, int when I just use here.
Mm.
I just use a car, and the sign
Or
name is a car one. Okay,
mm.
and after this user C out because this is not here to the C out here to then we can use the speed and then write the speed is 200. Okay, this is my speed limit. Okay,
Mm.
so you can I just write the maximum speed limit is I just write this one and then I just show you and this side, well, so this is my output. Maximum speed limit is 200. Okay, you can also
Mm.
define this type way. Okay, void int whatever you use it, because all the rules you will learn inside both the functions same is applied inside the methods also. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Then come to the next topic is this is my constructor. What the constructor is. Okay, this is just a method. What the method is and how can we use the method. Okay, inside the method you can also specify the parameters. Okay, same as like the function. Next one is my topic is constructor. What the constructor is? A constructor in C++ plus plus is a special method that is automatically called when when an object is created. Okay, when your object is created, then this will be method is called. How to define the constructor? Okay, this is a method. Constructor is just a method where object you can define here. This will be called. Okay, how to define the method? Suppose here this is class, my class, and then inside we just use a public, and after this just use a my class. Okay, name is my class, and inside this and see out like this. This is a constructor. Yeah.
Mm.
And just I use and L. This is a constructor method. This is called as a constructor method.
Constructor isn't it the same thing as the method or?
Yeah, it's the same thing as the method. Suppose here I just define other one method. This is my method. Okay. One
Mm.
method I also define here to the same way. Okay. This is normal method. Okay. Here we just name it. This is a normal method. And this I
Mm.
use here and I'll again. Okay. In
Mm.
this way, for the construction method defined here, you just name is same as like that. Your method name is same as class name. Okay,
Mm.
and then does this need to be write here the void int anything. Here you write here the class name on here. You can inside it you can see out return anything you can use it inside it. Okay,
Mm. So why do we create a constructor?
I just show
Uh,
you how why we do use to create the constructor. What's the create the methods? What's the difference between a constructor method and normal method? Okay, this is called as normal class method. Okay, we
okay.
just use a normal class method. And what's the difference between them? Just I just show you. Okay. In the class structure method, just we use the int main function, I just create an object. Suppose here,
Mm.
I just create my object, my class, I just write here. And the name is obj, and then what's the name is you can see. And inside
Mm.
it, we don't call anything right there. And if I can't call the any for method, then oh no, none of the method will be called here. But what if I just create the class here? I just create the object only. Nothing will be
Mm.
do. Okay. And if I
Mm.
run this program, then what's what we see here?
Nothing.
There, what's they show? This is
This
constructor,
is a constructor.
right? This
Mm.
method is don't need to be called. When we create the
Okay.
object, this will be called. Okay.
Okay.
This is the
Mm.
initialization of the class. Also,
Mm.
constructor is called initialization.
Initiation of the class. Okay.
Initialize method of the class. Okay, where
Mm.
we create the object, this method is called. Suppose we can enter something, then something will be assigned welcome to abort. This message is appear. This is called as
Okay.
constructor. Okay, you are an object. Go inside the class, and then this message will be appear to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Other side we can just choice of this. Do you call or not? Okay. Suppose my method is choice to a call or not. If I call, then this will be call. If I don't call, this will be not call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is my choice. The for the then construction method is called. Okay. And this is normal methods is called by use of object, right?
Object. Mm.
But in the normal method, we call multiple time. In the first construction method is called when class is made, and class is made by one time. And after that, we
Mm.
don't the same type of class will be made. We define the other type of class. We can call
Okay.
the normal methods my as multiple time as you can. Okay. That's why in the functionality we define the multiple. We can show here the starting values and starting messages. Then you can use the construction method. For any function we use only a normal method. Okay. If you second time you call here, just the second line will be called here.
Mm.
But what if you can want to again you call make as a other object or is it true right here? And just I just see that again if you create second of object for the second object same construction method will be called. Okay,
Mm.
every time you create the object your constructor will call for this object. Okay, and
Mm. Mm.
this constructor is called for this type this way of the object. Okay, okay. This way you can define as a construction.
Oh, when we define like when we define a second object, right? Um,
Mhm.
does it call the constructor again or no?
If you create the first object, then this will be called. If you create the second object, this will be created. If you create the third object, then this will be created. Okay.
Okay,
I
okay,
just
I
create a
see.
my class obj3 and this will be again created.
I
Okay.
see, I
So
see.
every time
Mm-hmm.
constructor is one time is called. Correct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. How much time you can create the object every time construction will be called? How much person will go to the factory or inside the showroom? All the times welcome message will be appear. Okay, but not
Mm-hmm.
the multiple time of the same object. Okay, so one time of
Okay.
the same object. Right? This
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah.
called of methods. Okay. Okay. Then come to the next parts. Inside the construction method, we define the parameters. How to use the parameters because I don't call here the parameters. Then how to use this? Okay. Suppose that I just create a class. Its name is my car.
Mm.
Okay. And then I just name is string is my brand name.
Don't
And
we have to write public?
oh yeah, I just forgot to write the public. Okay, I just say the public also. Uh, string brand and then here model. I just use the int here, which here this will be build. Okay.
Mm.
And then after that, I just create here a car. This is called an constructor. And then here I use a string x, string y. This is my parameters. Okay. And then
Mm.
a string int z. Uh,
Mm.
and then I just use a brand. It's equal to x. Inside the brand, we define the x values. Inside the model, we define the y value. And
Mm.
inside the year, we define the z value. Okay.
Mm.
But
So every time when we start, we'll ask brand equal X, model equal Y, model equal
yeah,
and
this is
E equal
value. And this is my parameters. And then I just see here the how to assign these parameter arguments values. Okay.
Mm.
Because I don't
Mm.
call the function. If normal function here, I just create normal function also again, void max speed. Name is max speed. And then int, not here int. I just, okay, yeah, I just define as int and speed.
Mm.
Okay. And this I just see out
Max speed.
maximum speed is max speed, right?
Mm.
Also use the handle for the new line. That's good. Okay. This two function I create a construction and made. And inside the construction, okay, I want
Mm.
to show these values. Okay, brand, model, year, all the things I want to show here. And these values are assigned by using the constructor. How to define it? Okay, to
Mm.
this parameter value. To for this parts, if you int main here, and then I just use main here, and then I
Mm.
just create my object. suppose I car, and then I just use a car one,
Mm.
and let's create an object right there. Okay,
Uh-huh.
but we got an error. Why we error? Because here we define the parameters, and then you know about it, for the any function we define the parameters, we always assign this argument. Without argument, this will be getting the errors, right? So
Mm.
how can we assign the argument of this construction method? For this part, we use where we declare the objects. Then we can assign here the functions
Mm.
parameters. Okay,
Mm.
functions parameters arguments. Okay, so how to do that? Suppose here I just use a BMW, comma, I just x5, comma, and 1999. Okay,
Mm.
this
Mm.
is my values, and then I assign these values to this one, and then if I run this again, then this will be not what's the happening. I just show this one again. Why this will be showing the okay, I just comment on this one first. Because I don't build here, then this will be not fun. Okay. 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 This one is getting something. Here, for I want to do one thing. Yeah. If I just use a C out,
Mm.
yeah, I just name as model, and then just use a car one dot model. This will be shown the model. Okay.
Mm.
And after that, I just use a ender, and then use a
Mm.
C out again, and then here I just use a
Card
here's is
two
a note. Here is model. This is my brand. First of all is
model.
brand, and second one is my model.
Model. Mm.
Okay, and then here show the car one dot model, and then here, and then here see
Oh,
out again.
the first
It-
one then should be brand, right?
yeah, because this will first of all is my brand. Okay, because here the I'm just defined the first brand, then model, then here. Okay,
Yeah, then
that's what it is.
here, like we have two models in C out.
Two models. Okay. Sorry about this. Okay.
The first one's supposed
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah,
brand.
yeah, yeah. This brand. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, and then I just see that, and then what's this show here? Here you can show your brand BMW Model X5 and manufacturing is 1999, right?
Mm.
You
Mm.
can
Mm.
assign this one also. Okay.
Mm.
But for the this part, we just use a car dot maximum design inside it with the defined with the values, right?
Mm.
Suppose this is my 250,
Mm.
and this is normal way. You can just call it and then just show it. Okay. Why this will be showing this type of error? Oh, sorry. मुझे समझ आ रहा है speed. I take no, it's my mistake. I just not write this one. I write this one.
Mm. Mm.
That's why this will be causing error. Okay. Okay, that's will be great. Maximum speed is 250. Okay.
Mm.
So you can also use this one. I just comment out this and again and this one. And then what's the value shown? This one is value shown. Okay. I just make
Mm.
them as mistake. That's why this will be one. If you can define this car class again and then other car, suppose it's my car two. Again, you can define these parameters of arguments values inside it. And then suppose this I just write a Ford and the name is Mustang.
Mm.
And manufacturing is suppose is 1972.
Mm.
Okay. And same thing I just use here.
Mm. So it's like
And
C
then
out.
you can just write.
And it
And
should say
then
car.
if
It
I
should say
just yeah
car two, right?
yeah. Sorry. Two. This one is car two. Just as name as car two.
Mm.
Okay, that's good. Thank you for the this thing. And then I run this one, then this will be created at this one. Okay, Ford Mustang 1972. And then
Okay.
if you want to car two dot speed, maximum speed, you can also define this 200 is my maximum speed.
Mm.
And then I just learned this one. This one is created. Okay? So by this way,
Mm.
you can create multiple types of things here, and then you can use the construction, and then how can we use the normal from methods? Okay, that's clear to you
Okay.
how to create the construction method and normal method.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So any doubts from these sections?
Um, Not yet. Yeah, no.
No, just you practice yourself is first of all. Then once you have the gotten doubts, this is this way. Okay, so what you do here? I want to do one thing. Uh, okay. Okay. So I want to do. I want to make them one question to you for this part also.
Mm.
Okay. Make a class where you can calculate different types of shapes areas. Okay. By using the
Okay.
class, you can just use a different calculate the different types of shape areas, right? And this type
Yeah.
of things, I think already you can use in the conditions, right?
Mm.
Okay. Same thing by using the class, but in this case, we use your class. All right.
So, so in condition, I use
What you
shape.
do, I just show you. First of all, make the
Mm.
class name is shape. Okay.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And then so first of all, ask them as which type of class you can, which type of things you want to call here. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Suppose you
Uh-huh.
want to call which type of so first of all you want to show here what is this. Okay, suppose you want
Mm.
to rectangle, you want to circle, calculate the circle, whatever it is you want to show here, just assign inside the one attributes, and then inside the attribute just use as a constructor. Okay, and for after that you can define for the different shape, you define here the different methods for the each and every step. For the circle, we define as
Uh,
different methods for the
so
yeah.
in constructor define the shape like
Just
write
define
different
as a
shape.
shape. Write the shape name in the constructor.
Uh, mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm,
Just I
mm.
want to just show the shape name here. After that, you
Okay.
can define for the each and every cases of the shapes. You can define the other methods because inside the class we define how many of the methods right there. Okay, and you just calculate the area and show this type of areas. Okay, the way you can want to use a condition where you want to condition, just take this out to yourself. Okay, I think this
Mm.
is clear to you how to do this question.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, do as well and then practice these things. Okay, after that we
Mm.
continue, but tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, because first of all you do